Hello to Pioneer viewers. We continue to bring the most accurate and fastest coverage of the Russia-Ukraine war. While the war is in full swing, important developments are taking place. Developments on the front line show the point of the war. The soldiers of both sides are experiencing the fatigue of the war, but the Russian army has been showing signs of the fatigue for a long time. Showing signs of the fatigue in a war environment is a very dangerous negligence. Military units needs to be resilient and strong. At the slightest negligence or sign of fatigue, there is a risk of being destroyed by the enemy. In frontline warfare, infiltration attempts and the air raids are the most dangerous dangers to watch out for. A strong air defense system is necessary to successfully repel air attacks. Air defense systems are also very difficult to manage and produce. With Russia's invasion attempt in Ukraine, important developments took place on the battlefield. The Russian army suffered significant losses at many points. The Russian army is struggling to compensate for its losses in terms of military personnel. Likewise, it is very difficult to compensate for the equipment losses in the economic terms. The Ukrainian army suffered relatively fewer losses and made significant gains against the Russian army. When the Russian army was cornered by Ukraine, it tried to make different moves. The different moves did not yield any positive results. The strategic attacks of the Ukrainian army caused significant losses to the Russian army at many points. Recently, the Ukrainian army organized a strategic attack. A Russian system was destroyed in the attack. In addition, as a result of the Ukrainian army's activities in Crimea, an air defense systems, which is of great importance for the Russian army, is being destroyed respectively. Now, if you are ready, let's examine the operations of the Ukrainian army and other developments together. As the Pioneer team, we continue to report on the Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. I also read all your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments with us. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. The Ukrainian army recently released a video from the battlefield. In the footage released by the Ukrainian army, a Russian weapon system was shut down by the Ukrainian army. The Ukrainian army, which destroyed the Russian TOS-1A Blazing Sun rocket system, carried out the attack with the HIMARS systems. Solnspyuk, also called by the Blazing Sun launcher, referring to the ability as a heavy flamethrower, was reportedly destroyed in the operation organized by the Ukrainian Special Operations Forces. The video shared by the Ukrainian military was watched by thousands of people in a short time. Solnspyuk can fire several dozen thermobaric rockets and can be mounted on different main battle tank chassis. In March, the UK Ministry of Defense wrote that Solnspyuk can create incredibly and detonation effects that last longer than conventional explosives, leading to the devastating effects. According to experts, it could destroy infrastructures and cause significant damage to the internal organs and flash burns, which could lead to the death of those exposed. When sharing the video of the attack, the Ukrainian military referred to the power of HIMARS systems. The video shared with the caption "HIMARS's time is always the best time," as they become a source of morale for Ukraine supporters. In the published footage, the smoke that spread around was described as the explosions of a Solnspyuk's thermobaric ammunition. According to the military experts, a Solnspyuk's thermobaric ammunition creates a cloud of explosive mixture and then detonates it. After the explosion, the atmosphere pressure in the cloud jumps sharply and then drops just as quickly. Therefore, even if the enemy manages to survive after the explosion itself, such a sharp pressure drops almost guarantees death from the rupture of the internal organs. The dangerousness of the weapon used by the Russian army has once again been demonstrated. As a result of the Ukrainian army's attacks, the Russian armament was completely destroyed. Moreover, the Solnspyuk is a large of poorly armored, making it vulnerable to the attacks from the anti-tank missile systems and grenade launchers. The Ukrainian army's offensives in Crimea has also thrown the Russian army off balance. According to the recent intelligence update from the UK Ministry of Defense, Ukraine's attacks on the Russian positions in the Crimea last week have likely disturbed Russia's air defenses in the region. A Ukrainian military official said in the country's forces attacks Russia's air defenses and command center in Crimea, which was once part of the Ukraine before it was invaded and annexed by the Russian President Vladimir Putin in 2014. Reports have emerged of a double-digit casualties in the Ukrainian attacks, including 5 senior commanders. The British Ministry of Defense said in its assessment that the Ukrainian attacks most likely reduced the awareness and the coverage of the Russian air defense over the Crimean region. This once again demonstrates that ineffectiveness of the Russian air defense systems in protecting key positions despite their advanced preparations, the MOD said. Ukrainian military spokeswoman Natalia Humeniuk said last week's strikes hit a command post and caused serious damage to the defense systems of the Crimean Peninsula. Ukraine has carried out several high-profile attacks on the Russian positions in the Crimea during the war launched by Putin in February 2022. Last month, a successful attack against the Russian Black Sea Fleet in the Crimean port of the Fedosia destroyed Rabucha-class Novocherkassk large landing ships. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has repeatedly stated that one of his desired goals for the war is to see his country gain control of the Crimea. In a January 1st interview, he stated that the battle for the peninsula and the Black Sea will be the epicenter of the conflict next year. The aim is to liberate the Black Sea and continue success in Crimea by organizing more successful operations. Then he said to defend the east and Kharkiv. The Ukrainian army's counterattacks and strategic operations have been an important element in the course of the war. The Ukrainian army fought against all odds and kept its plan intact. The fight against the Russian army was very difficult for Ukraine. As time passed and the conditions improved, the Ukrainian army regained its strength. Having gained strength, the Ukrainian army started to carry out its attacks and operations more regularly and carefully. It seems that the contribution of the Ukrainian army to the developments will continue in the coming days. The expected support packages and the new weapons news for Ukraine are circulating. We will share them with you first when we receive statements from official sources. We will see if we will experience events that will change the course of the war in the coming days. Now tell me, what do you think about the Ukrainian army's attacks? What do you think is the danger of the Russian army's blazing sun weapons? Do you think the Ukrainian army was successful in its offensives? Do you think the Russian army's interests in the Crimea are over? What do you think will happen in the coming days? We care about your opinion. Please share it with us.